Hi, welcome to the latest edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. Back in 1987, a relatively young British writer named Clive Barker created a revolutionary film. He wrote and directed Hellraiser. This is a limited edition, deluxe edition LaserDisc that I'm going to show you, autographed by Clive Barker. I'll show you in a minute. That movie, Hellraiser, was a revolution in horror. Something totally unique. Unique creatures, a unique story, a unique plot. It was just a landmark film, and I think it's one of the all-time greats. Now, of course, that was back in 1987. You watch it now, it's a little bit dated, but it still holds up pretty good. Let me show you this limited edition box set LaserDisc that I got. Shows you the beauty of laser. This is a deluxe collector's edition of Hellraiser, personally signed by Clive Barker. And you open it up, and this huge slipcase, and got a review there. And you get the deluxe LaserDisc. There is the most famous Cenobite at the time, known as Pinhead. And it opens up like that and tells you the story. And this LaserDisc is loaded with bonus features and audio commentaries and great stuff. Stuff that you find on DVD now, but that's back then you would only see something like that on LaserDisc. And then this is the inside, and beautiful packaging. And then it comes with this really cool book, and this book is the screenplay. Hellraiser, and there's a actual autograph by Clive Barker, and the screenplay of the film, and some hand-drawn Cenobites stuff too, which is really cool. It's Doug Bradley, the main one. I think there was only like 3 or 4 original Cenobites in the original movie. And that's part of what I want to talk about. So, the original Hellraiser, I think, is an all-time classic. Again, maybe a little bit dated now, but an all-time classic. That kind of stunk. Hold on a second. And the reason why the original Hellraiser is great, and why great horror movies are like that, and great movies of all time, are is because you care about the characters. You know, no matter how good effects are, they're just effects. You need a plot that you care about the characters, maybe you relate to them, you empathize with them, you feel for them, and you take the journey with them. Like when you read a book and you watch a movie, you're on a journey with them. You care about them. Are they making good decisions? Do you like them? Do you not like them? All of that is crucially important when you watch a great movie and a great horror movie. And Hellraiser has that. And what you may not remember is that the Cenobites, which are the creatures, like Pinhead and a couple of them that are in this film, they only appear relatively briefly in the film. Mostly in my memory at the end of the movie, is part of it in the middle as well. They have an incredibly important part of the plot, but you care about the characters, and the characters in the original Hellraiser is the girl and her father, who got remarried to Julia, and Julia actually had an affair with the main bad guy, Frank, which was the husband's brother, who had died because he was always searching for the next incredible sensual experience. He was never satisfied with life. He had to take it further and further and further. And then when he got the puzzle, the piece, and which brings the Cenobites from hell in, and they just rip you to shreds in the ultimate sensory experience, basically. That's kind of the plot of the original Hellraiser. And then the plot is they get him to come back, and the wife, who's married to the boring guy, the boring husband, the brother of Frank, she actually helps bring the bad guy back from hell by, recruiting people and killing them and using the blood to bring Frank back. That's kind of the main plot. And these are just evil, terrible people. And you have the daughter who wants to help her father and destroy Frank and Julia and with help from the Cenobites. But you can't really get help from the Cenobites, although she negotiates. It's a really good plot. And the idea is that the plot is original, it's scary, the effects are great, it makes sense in the horror genre, and these creatures, as powerful as they are only more characters in the film. And that is what makes it different than this. This is the reboot, the new one that was just made. I know you can't really see it well, but it's an actual film, and it's playing only on Hulu, and I did watch it on Hulu, and I was really, really disappointed. One, I didn't find it scary, but then again, this is the 11th Hellraiser movie. I was blown away by that. I've only seen the first 3, and then I gave up. I don't want to see anymore. So this is the 11th one, but this is considered a brand new reboot, big production value, really big movie, playing on Hulu. And I found a certain lack of logic, not to give too much away, but there's a scene where they're locked in this estate where the bad guy, multi-billionaire, resides, and they could lock the Cenobites out by these gates that he built, except that the Cenobites come from hell. And even within this movie, there's scenes where, when the Lament Configuration is the name of the box, this puzzle box, which is different in this movie. It doesn't matter where you are, in the back of a van in this movie or wherever, they get in. But all of a sudden they couldn't get in because of these gates. It didn't make any logical sense. But the biggest problem with this movie for me is the characters. Didn't care about them. I give credit to the casting people. The lead is a very average-looking young woman who is a recovering addict. So I give credit where you don't normally you see these really hot-looking young girls. They didn't go that way, and that's really cool. But at the end of the day, I didn't really care or have any kind of empathy for any of these characters. I was just frankly bored. And the Cenobites are, throughout this whole movie, there's more graphic with their bodies and the torturous devices that the Cenobites are made of. But frankly, it's not scary. It's kind of boring. And it was much more effective in the first movie, where they really only have a bit part. This is what they look like. There's some of them. But you only see them in certain segments. Here, they're kind of always there. And I kind of miss Doug Bradley with his British accent. So anyway, real disappointment for me in the new one. I don't know, kind of curious to know what you think. So I'd love to see your comments if you watch Hellraiser on Hulu, the new reboot. But again, for me, no comparison to the classic original. That's just my take. And again, let me know what you think. If you don't subscribe, please hit subscribe. I've been doing more and more movie reviews lately because I watch a lot of horror movies, and lately it's October, Halloween season, so I guess there's a bunch out there. But I'll be getting back to music. I'm going to try to do a music video tomorrow, another haul video. I got a bunch of stuff today. But again, please hit subscribe. Help my channel to grow. Alan Rosenberg Show, mostly classic rock, but a lot of horror movie stuff as well, and sometimes I'll do a rant. Please hit subscribe. Thanks for checking me out. Most importantly, stay safe, stay healthy. Please tune in when you can, and I will see you next time. And please write comments. I love reading them, whether you agree with me or not. Be curious. And the only thing, I guess, if you've never seen the original Hellraiser, and this is your first Hellraiser, well, then you got nothing to compare it to, so maybe you'd like it much better than I did. Maybe. All right, we'll see. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.